Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials. Today I will try to show you how and when you can use scratch block which is named item hashtag or number of item in list. That means this block is giving us information on position of some item in list. So if we have different items in list and we know what they are, we are looking for some specific items, we want to know on which position it is. So we know that item is in list or it should be in the list, but we don't know on which position it is. This is the number, this is the position of item. So this one is similar to the previous one which we have learned, but in opposite, in reverse, in vice versa. So in previous video we have seen how to use item of list, and I have also used this hashtag for thumbnail. I will maybe change that not to confuse you, but in short, in the previous video when I clicked on this block, I would get the item name, what item is on first, placed on first position, what is on second, and so on. Yeah, I don't have any items in inventory, so now when I press item 2 of inventory, which we have learned in previous video, we will get apple. If I press 3, because on in my list on position 3 is bananas, I will get bananas. 4 will be orange, and so on. So we pulled the information from the list in terms of, hey, give me what item is on which position, and today we are doing the opposite. We know what item we want, but we don't know what position that item occupies in list. So it's reverse of the previous one. So if I click on this one, I will get nothing. Why 0? Because I don't have this thing in my inventory, right? I have apple, bananas, orange. Okay, that's great. Where is the thing? There is no thing, so it will give me 0, so you have to be aware of that. Or if I type I don't know, blah blah blah, where is blah blah blah? 0, there is no. Or 1 2 3 4 5, 0, there is no. So again, be aware that you will get the 0, no error or something like that. Okay, but if I type bananas, I will get which number? Bananas are on position 3, so I should get number 3. If I type orange, because orange is fourth element, fourth item of my list, I will get 4. And again, be very careful. Another very important thing is to type exactly what you have in your list. So we have orange in our list, not oranges, not more of those. So if you type oranges with S and you have orange without S, you will get 0. Or if you make a mistake and type orange like this without E. So you have to be careful to try to pull exactly what you have in your list. You have to be careful of every letter or every number if you have numbers in your list. And again, that's very prone to error. You will make errors. That's not unusual. That happens to all of us. And there are some tips and tricks how to avoid it. We will learn that later. Also, if I type apple, I will get 1, although I have what? I have apples also on my second place. Why is that so? I only have this one scratch block, and that checks the first result. The first positive result of apple in my inventory is on first position, so it doesn't care of anymore. I would have to make some kind of more complex code to tell Scratch, okay, go through all of the list element, so repeat until you check them all, or if else, or repeat as many times as you have, and check this how many times I have the same. I won't do that in this video. I will make another example, maybe which is more realistic and more interesting. I will try to make for example some kind of character here on the screen which will have some kind of quest or a question to ask the character, the cat, and say, okay, I need orange. Do you have orange? If you have, would you trade me? And I will give you, I don't know, coins or something like that. First of all, I will try to resize this list. Okay, inventory, so it looks much better. Okay, another thing I need is character on the screen. We will take the first one, it doesn't matter, Abby. So Abby will stand here, and when I start my game, okay, I have to change the spacing here. Okay, so what I want to do here, I want to Abby, when you click on it, when character clicks on Abby, so I need to find when this sprite is clicked, and again I'm in Abby character, I'm coding in her. So when this sprite is clicked, say or ask, ask, do you have any oranges to trade, question mark, and if my answer is yes, and how to I have used control if else block, and I will use sensing answer block, but I also need to check if the answer is right. Where do we find that? In operators block, green ones. We have learned all of these earlier, so it's just using the knowledge from before for all of you who watched previous tutorials. So if the answer is yes, do what? Let me first I can maybe code it right away. I want to do what? I want to take the oranges from cat. So I have oranges in my inventory in cat character, and this girl asks for oranges, and when I click on her, do you have any oranges to trade? I have this field to type yes or no and check this check mark, and then she will take those oranges from me. That's what I want to code. That's what I want to have in my game. If the answer is yes, if the cat says yes, I have oranges, then this girl takes oranges from the cat. How to do it? We can see the oranges are in inventory. The girl doesn't see that because it will be hidden like this. Inventory will be hidden, but Scratch knows there are oranges in list. So all we have to do is just to say, okay, take those oranges from the list, take that information and give something to cat. So we need to say to use, I can use other things also, but I will use this block. which we have learned today. Why? Because it comes handy to me. At least you can maybe use something else. I will use this. Okay, I know the cat has the oranges in its list, in its inventory, because the cat says so. But I don't know on which position they are. The number, the item number, the item position of oranges in inventory. So if I click on it, it will give me 3, and that is for this game because I have picked oranges third. But what will happen in some other game? So for example, look at the inventory now. I will pick the oranges first, so they are now first in inventory. Orange first, bananas, apple, apple. So something changed, inventory changed. You don't know how your player will play the game. Will he pick the oranges first or apples or whatever? That's why you have all of those possibilities and different blocks to cover every kind of situation. So this time item of orange in inventory is 1. So okay, just take that item on that position. I don't care where and how the cat picked them, as long as I can find them in inventory under some position. So what do I want to do? I want to delete what? Again, we don't want to type 1, 2, 3, 23, 4, because we don't know on which position oranges will be in terms of numbers that can change. But that's why we use this block. To find on which position the orange is and then delete it. So we're plug and play that item. Again, I'm just plugging in this result. Result is 1 in this case, in some other will be something else, and delete that. So if the cat says yes, I have them, then delete those oranges and say something like thank you, here is 10 coins. We are just going to say this. We're not going to give anything yet because we don't have time to do that. It would be too much and confusing maybe. And if the answer is no or something else, again, just look what we are doing and think about it. If you have a problem, just detach something and just go back to start and say, okay, if the answer is yes, something will happen in this hole, and else. What is else? Else is when this is not true. If answer is not yes, that means answer can be no, answer can be anything. It can be blah blah, leave me, I don't know, anything. So that can be confusing for some of you, but this first code in first hole will happen only if the answer is yes, and in every other scenario will happen this else. So when the answer is not yes, I want to say okay, thanks anyway. If you have oranges, I'm here. Okay, that will happen if the answer is no, and if the answer is yes, I have to check this to connect, this one again, and let's see if this works now. Again, the whole idea here is to have the character which will ask the player for some item, and if the answer is positive, if the player says yes, I have that item, then this character, the girl, will take that item from the inventory, delete it, and give something to the player, like some kind of quest or real world game. And again, a very, very important thing, we are using this to check on which position is the item that girl needs, and then deleting that item on that position. So we're combining delete item on position with first checking on which position is the item that we need. Simple as that. Okay, so let's see that if it works. So I will now pick the orange third, like for example apple, bananas, oranges, and then again apple, and then I will click on this girl to talk to her to see what she needs. She says, do you have any oranges to trade? I can say no. Okay, thanks anyway. If you have oranges, I'm here. I have changed my mind. Let me do this again. Okay, do you have any oranges to trade? This time I will say yes. She took it and it was very fast. Yeah, it was so fast, maybe some of you didn't even see. So she took the third item, oranges, deleted them, and said here are 10 coins. I will make this a little bit longer, and I will add one more block to make this a little bit slower to begin. So I want to make a pause of 1 second to when the cat says yes, then wait for 1 second just so we can see the change on the screen. And this time I will pick the orange as second maybe. Okay, so let's try. Okay, let's go with bananas, then orange, then apple, apple. And if I try to collect more, I cannot because my inventory is limited to 4. Okay, I want to sell this to this girl. Okay, do you have any oranges to trade? Yes. And when I click on this check mark here, check out the inventory here, the second item orange, it will disappear because we said so, and the girl will say here is 10 coins. Yes. Yeah, simple as that. So this was example of how you can make some kind of shopkeeper or a trader or some NPC character which gives you some kind of quests, or he needs some kind of items. So instead of this girl, which can be some farmer girl or something like that, or I don't know, some girl who needs food, you can make some character who needs guns, some warrior who needs some kind of weapon or something like that, but we will have different kind of problems here, which I can show you some of them. Again, this is far from finished and far from real world game in terms of as many problems as you can face in real world. Why? Because for example, if I don't have orange in my inventory, I have only apples, I cannot collect orange because I don't have place in my inventory, and I click on girl to sell. Okay, yes, I want to trade, but I don't have orange. What will happen? No response, or yeah, maybe some problem again. Thank you. Why is that so? Because we said here, if the answer is yes, then delete the orange if it's in inventory. This time it isn't because we didn't have it, but we said say thank you, here is 10 coins, even if the answer is yes and the cat doesn't have the oranges. So we have to check this, and we will do that in next video. Again, a problem, and you have to think about every possible condition and solution to it, every possible way your players can play the game. So here again, we collected the apples and lied to this girl, said yes, we have oranges. Why? Because the game was coded that way that she will give us 10 coins even if we don't have oranges. So we have to fix that, and we will do that in maybe next video already. Thanks for watching and see you soon.